All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to look at our Education and Advancement Math Study Guide. So let's begin with number 1. A course that costs $750 will allow you to get a job that pays $5 more per hour than your current job. How many hours will you need to work at the new job before your investment in education has paid off? So we know that the course will cost us $750. Once we are done with the course, we know that we'll make an additional $5 an hour at a new job. So to simply figure out how many hours we have to work to pay off the $750, we're simply just going to divide 750 by the $5 increase we would receive per hour. So 750, divide that by 5, and you should see that it would take 250 hours worked at your new job to actually pay for the $750 class to get that new job. Now think about it, that's not really that much time because you work about 40 hours every week, which is 160 or so every month, and then you got to think that's really only a month and a half. After your first month and a half, now that $5 goes to you from then on. All right, so let's move on here. And you are told in number 2 that having a college education increases a person's earnings by 30% over their lifetime. A non-college graduate earns about $40,000 per year. How much more will you earn with a college education over a 50-year career? Just a little side note, ladies and gentlemen, people with college degrees on average at this point are earning over $1 million more than people without college degrees within their lifetime. Now let's go back and look at the math problem here. So we know that the non-college graduate is going to make $40,000 per year. Okay, so a college graduate is going to earn that plus 30% more. So let's just figure out how much a non-college graduate makes in a lifetime. A non-college graduate at $40,000 per year, then we're going to multiply that by the length of their career. So their 50-year career, we're going to multiply those two things to figure out how much money they're going to make within their lifetime. And it's a pretty significant number. If we multiply 40,000 times 50 years, we're going to get $2 million. Now remember again, that was the non-college graduate. So now we need to determine how much the college graduate would have actually made. Now they're still going to make the same $2 million, but they are going to make 30% more than that. So we need to multiply this by 30%. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, the decimal is here, and we are going to move it 2 places to the left to turn that into a decimal. So 0.30. So 2 million multiplied by 30%, or 0.3, is going to give us the value of $600,000 more for a college graduate than a non-college graduate. So remember, they get the first $2 million as well, but in addition to, they are going to end up earning $600,000 more than the non-college graduate. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 3. So if we can only go to school part-time or we're working and going to school, let's see how long it's going to take us to complete a course. All right, so it says here your current schedule only lets you take 3 credit courses, only lets you take 2 3-credit courses every year. You need 24 credits to get the degree you want. How long will it take you to get the degree? So first things first, let's figure out how many credits we can earn every single year. So each year, it says we can take 2 3-credit courses. So we can take 2, we'll multiply that by 3 credit courses. So how many credits are we going to have at the end of every single year? 2 times 3 is going to give us 6 credits each year. Now our goal is to earn 24 credits to get our actual degree. So now let's calculate our goal here. So our goal is to get to 24 credits, and we know again that we can earn 6 credits per year. So 24 divided by 6 credits per year is going to give us the amount of years that it will take to complete this degree, 2 3-credit courses at a time. So 24 credits divided by 6 credits per year will give us 4 years that it would take us to complete the course. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Now, before we even start this, I have not taught you how to calculate interest, and we will not be doing that this lesson. We'll be talking about that a little bit later once we get into banking and savings and things like that. But this number 4 is saying you have accumulated $100,000 in student loans that average 6% interest. You graduate next month and will be paying off the loans over 12 years. Which of the following is most likely to be your monthly payment, assuming you pay interest and a portion of the principal each month? So if you will take a look with me here, what we're going to do is we're not going to calculate any interest. We're simply going to calculate how much we've paid by each payment at the end of 12 years. Now we know that we have to pay back at least $100,000 plus a little bit more because we are going to pay interest, but we're not going to calculate that this time. So A gives us $50. We would be paying $50 every single month. So we know that there are 12 months in a year. And then we know we're going to be paying this amount for 12 years. So $50, 12 times a year for 12 years. So let's see here. When we multiply 50 times 12 months times 12 years, we would have paid back $7,200. Now this amount is way under the $100,000 that we borrowed. So we know that A cannot be correct. So let's do the exact same thing here with B, $500. So let's multiply 500 by 12 months. Every single month we are paying $500, and those months are going to be paid over 12 years. So let's find out how much at the end of 12 years we've paid $500 a month at a time. Now this does significantly increase our value, but it only takes us up to $72,000. That still doesn't cover $100,000, and it certainly doesn't cover any interest as well. All right, so A or B cannot be it. So let's move on to C. C is going to be $1,000. So let's do the same thing. Let's multiply that by 12 months. We pay every month, and we pay every month for 12 years. So when we make that calculation, 1,000 times 12 times 12, we are going to get $144,000 was paid back. Now, this would cover our $100,000 we borrowed, and it would be room for any interest as well. But let's double check D before we close in on C. All right, 10,000, same thing. We're going to multiply that by 12 months and multiply that by 12 years. So when we multiply $10,000 a month for 12 months for 12 years, we actually end up paying back $1,440,000. So that is way more than we actually owed. 6% interest would not be that high on $100,000. So we know here that C is going to be our best option for this. So we'll go ahead and highlight that because it allows us to cover our $100,000 we owed, plus it gives us room for interest. So don't worry about calculating interest. Simply calculate how much you would actually pay back. All right, so last problem here, number 5. And this one's a little unusual because number 5 is usually the hardest, but this one is pretty straightforward. It says you decide to become a neurosurgeon, and after high school, you will need 5 years of college, 3 years of medical school, 4 years of residency, and a 3-year fellowship. Assuming you graduate high school at 17, how old will you be when you finish training? Meaning, how old will you be once you can actually start working your job? So, high school graduate, 17 years of age. So now we are going to go to college, and it says that we go to college for 5 years. So we're going to add 17 plus 5. That will put us at 22 years old. But we're not done yet, because now to become a neurosurgeon after college, we have to go to medical school. And we are going to go to medical school for 3 years. So now we were 22, went to medical school for 3 years, and now we are 25 years old. We're not done yet. Now we've got 4 years of residency. So let's move is 25 years old down here. And then we're going to add on our residency. And residency is going to be for another 4 years. So 25 years old when I start my residency, and when I'm done with that, I will be 29 years old. But we're not quite finished yet. There's one more thing before becoming a neurosurgeon, and that is a fellowship. And that fellowship will take us an additional 3 years. So we were 29 when we started our fellowship, and we will be 32 years old when we finish it. So it shows you, especially these doctoral and professional degrees, how long you really are in school. And of course, how much you're paying for that school every single year that goes by that you are not working. So you have to take this into consideration as well.